All right, so what really happens when you drink ayahuasca? The first thing that happens is that you realize that sometimes the sweetest of medicines have the most bitter of tastes. That's the first thing that happens for most people. You drink it and even its flavor inspires respect. From that moment on, it's a metaphor. Sometimes it can be quite bitter, it can be hard to stomach, even just a little sip. And you start seeing that such is the nature of a lot of things in life. Heartbreaks, physical pain, disease, the loss of a loved one, childhood trauma. These are things that are quite bitter for the average human experience. These are things that create a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow sometimes, and grief, hurt, closure. However, if you can stay with it, if you can drink the full cup, not reject it and sit with it, chances are that you're in for a very sweet realization. In the same way with your pain, with the situations that have hurt you, that have harmed you, what really happens is that if you can sit with the bitterness, you may end up finding a very, very sweet gem, nectar hidden inside of them. Now, after you've drunk the medicine and you come back to your spot, as you're sitting there, the first 30 minutes to an hour on average, you're in a state of reflection. If you're sensitive enough, you may feel many things, but for most people, they're in a state of reflection. Give you space to sit with your intention, with what you're asking yourself, with what you're asking the medicine. When it starts kicking in, you realize that something starts taking you into a very different place. And it's a place that is very different, but at the same time feels very familiar. It starts taking you deep inside of your heart. And then you realize everything you've been avoiding. You may start to see that there's a big part of you that you have abandoned by being busy working, by being busy taking care of your family, being there for other people. You may have abandoned your truth, your dreams, things you wanted to do when you were younger. Maybe your sense of aliveness has dimmed, your light is maybe gone or close to gone. And you live in such a busy manner that you never slow down enough to pay attention. Or when you slow down, it is so overwhelming and you feel so much anxiety and stress that it is impossible for you to sit with that. That is the case for a lot of people. And with ayahuasca, it forces you to pay attention to the areas within yourself that you have abandoned. The memories, the pain, the grief, the resentment. When you drink ayahuasca, she will sometimes hold your hand and take you towards the places where you're afraid. This is not because she wants to torture you or she gets a kick out of seeing you suffer, but because she loves you so much that she understands that only by facing your fear, you'll realize you're bigger than it is. You're bigger than your stories. You're bigger than your smallness. You'll realize that there's a part within you that is very wise, very strong, very powerful. And that doesn't matter if you're afraid of mom, of dad, of something else that happened in the past. You've got what it takes to face it and with love integrate it and with love to let it go. Ayahuasca allows you to reconnect to your inner voice, to your heart. And in this reconnection, it will show you the things that you do that are out of alignment, the ways in which you betray yourself. Same out of love, it wants you to see the ways in which you make yourself weak, in which you make yourself small, in which you are not who you could be because of the lies that you tell others, the lies that you tell yourself. And in this moment, it may help you vomit out the pain, the suffering, the lack of integrity, the trauma that is stored in your system, in your tissue. What really happens when you drink ayahuasca is that all that pain that is stagnant in the tissues from trauma, from the acidity that was built up over the stress of so many years and so many experiences, that one by one you start revisiting these pockets of trauma, of heaviness, and with the help of forgiveness, of love, of the guidance of the medicine, you start one by one letting them out. And you realize as you're letting them out, You feel a relief. In Spanish, we don't call it to vomit, we call it to relieve. It's not called vomito, it's called alivio, which means a relief. Because you are releasing, you are liberating yourself from burdens that you may have been carrying for many, many, many years. And a lot of these may be burdens that you don't even remember you were carrying. Why? Because they were so painful when you were a child that you tucked them into a Pandora box of the unconscious for them never to be touched and visited again. So what really happens during ayahuasca is that you go on a deep journey within yourself, within the life that you are, especially those areas that you have abandoned. You reconnect to your heart, you face your fears, and you let go and cleanse yourself of the traumas, the pain and suffering that you carry in your body. This is what really happens when you drink ayahuasca. Thank you for watching this video. If you are looking for a retreat center to participate and drink ayahuasca in, there's the links below. If you already have your retreat booked but want to work with me in your preparation and integration process, there's an online program that I've created that is also available. Otherwise, I have just published a book. It was a book that came through an ayahuasca ceremony around healing and the journey from pain to power. I think that you may enjoy it. Pain to purpose. And that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe, and see you next time.